Malcolm Gladwell says in his famous book Outliers that scientists all over the world have been arguing for almost a decade about a question that most of us would have thought was settled years ago. Is there such a thing as innate talent? Yes, success is a combination of talent and hard work, right? Everyone, of course, thinks that the most successful people they know have some skill that makes them stand out. In fact, there are probably a lot of good people who didn't have to do much to get where they are. They probably bought their way to the top, and there's nothing the rest of us could do to get to their level with that little work. We should probably have some natural talent if we want to be the best at what we do, right? But Gladwell says this way of thinking is wrong because the best psychologists study the lives of brilliant people. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and the notification bell to stay updated on our daily videos. A study done at a music school found that planning seems to be more important the less ability seems to matter. In fact, it was found that violin students who did really well not only practiced more than those who were just average or good, but also practiced a lot more. Even though all the violin students started lessons around age 5, this was still true. The best students trained more than their peers when they were about 8 years old. By the time they were 20, the best musicians had each practiced for a total of 10,000 hours, while their musical peers had only trained for about 4,000 hours each. But this study has been done a few times in different situations, and the results have always been the same. People who get to the top work hard, but it's not just smart people who get there. Not just people who seem to be good at something naturally, and also study for 10,000 hours. Gladwell says that they couldn't find any natural singers who got to the top by practicing half as much as their peers or grind people who worked harder than everyone else. Just didn't have what it took, though, to get to the top. If you want to be the best musician, this is a very important thing to know. In fact, all you have to do to be the best at almost anything is work harder than everyone else. Even having an A skill won't get you to the top. But if you put in those 10,000 hours, you will almost certainly get there. It's not easy to work for 10,000 hours without much thought, but it's much easier than being born with a natural set of skills. Knowing that to be the best at something, all you have to do is put in more time than anyone else gives you a big advantage. It gives you something you can control and daily steps you can take to get better at what you do. Even so, that doesn't mean putting in 10,000 hours will be easy. In fact, it's very hard and requires a lot of mental strength and determination. This is what ultramarathon runner, ultra-distance biker, swimmer, public speaker, and author David Goggins says in his book, Can't Hurt Me, Master Your Mind and Defy the Odds. We all have habits that make us less able to do things. It's as natural as the sun setting and as simple as gravity. This is how our brains are set up. Our habits make up our lives. When we don't practice the piano or whatever we like, it's probably because we're stuck in a bad habit. We don't usually do things that make us feel bad. Malcolm Gladwell's book shows that you can't fail if you keep trying and put in the time. Habit is a way to avoid the worry and fear of trying and failing or trying and never being good enough. You can't fail unless you give up before you reach your goal. If you work hard, you will get to the top. So, it's important to change your brain to have new habits instead of letting your fear-based habits control what you do. New routines when things get hard, you go back to the easy ways. You know how to deal with them. If you feel like running away, you should make it a habit to learn forward and keep going. That's the only way to get the famous 10,000 hours and reach the top. Tony Robbins wrote a book about how to get better at yourself. In it, he said that you need to feel bad about your old habits before you can change them. People tend to try to avoid pain and look for happiness. This means that if we connect bad feelings to old habits of behavior, it will be much easier to change them than if we just tried harder. Robbins says that the next step is to make sure that the new beat is fully connected to pleasure. It's hard to think that violinists who practiced for 10,000 hours didn't like what they were doing. They were probably happy to sit down and work on their skills for the day. If they didn't like what they were doing, it would have been hard to work for 10,000 hours. Most of us are too happy with our lives. We know we're capable of so much more, but we don't fight against our old habits or change the way we act because we're afraid of the pain that comes with changing old habits. A Persian sage named Heraclitus, who lived in the 5th century BCE, said something that says it all. Heraclitus said that out of every 100 men in a fight, 80 are just targets, 9 are real fighters, and we're lucky to have them because they make the battle, but only one is a warrior. Yes, if you work hard for 10,000 hours, you can do much better than everyone else. No matter who you are or what you were born with, all you need is time. But it's rare for someone to put in that much time, and the one person out of 100 who did it will stand out. If you want to be the best at what you do, you have to do things that no one else will. But those at the top have given it their all and tried again and again, even when they failed. In fact, people who put in 10,000 hours do not fail when they fail. It's just a small blip on their way to 10,000 hours. So, don't try to see your success as a light that keeps going up. You might not win every time, and sometimes you might even lose, but that doesn't matter because your goal shouldn't be to always get praise or success. Instead, you should try to put in the time and have fun while you're doing it. Put in your 10,000 hours and don't stop until you've hit your goal. Heraclitus says this is the only way to become the best at what you do and the one warrior. That's it for today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We post videos every week, so stay notified. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next video.